Hi, this is Kamera. My first few minutes with God, day 71, Deuteronomy chapter 3 and 4. You'll see that Moses in Deuteronomy, he goes over what God has done for the children of Israel, and he's going to go over what God had promised the children of Israel and the commandments and decrees and regulations. He reiterates all of that in Deuteronomy. This generation of Israelites, they were there when God had given them victory over Og, but he's talking about it again, reminding them of what God had done for them. Not only had he given them victory, but he's also given them land. He's given them plunder as well. And he talks about the distribution of the lands. Remember, on the east side of the Jordan, that's where where they are. And he's talking about how God had given that land to Manasseh, well, half of Manasseh, Gad, and Reuben. And then he tells them again that, he reminds them what he had told them, that they have to fight alongside the rest of Israel. You have your properties, but you still need to help your brothers fight. And once they have gained their property, their security, and occupied their lands, then you can come back and you can settle. Once you're fighting men, go over there and help them. And once all that is done, then you can come back and return to your lands. And so Moses talks about how he had pleaded with God that he enter into this new land to see what God had blessed the children of Israel with. But God cut that conversation short, and he told him to go up to the mountains, and he can look all around and see these lands that God had given the children of Israel. Look in every direction, but you may not cross to the promised land. And he tells them that commissioned Joshua to lead the children of Israel. Strengthen and encourage Joshua. He will lead the children of Israel over to that promised land that you've seen. So he tells the children of Israel what had happened in all of this. And Moses, he urged the children of Israel to obey God, obey all his decrees and his regulations. And that way you'll live a full life. You'll enter and occupy the land that God has given you. And he says, don't add to his regulations and his decrees, and don't take away from it. Just obey it. And that's something we got to learn. Just obey. Don't add and don't take away. God's word is true all by itself. He said, you see what happened to those who started, they had worshiped Baal. You guys were faithful. You weren't taken out like they were. So God did not give you any image of him. So don't go creating no man, woman, idol, no bird, no animals. Don't even worship the stars and the moon and all that. Because just obey God, obey his regulations. And that has a lot we really need to think about that. God did not give us an image. He just told us to obey him. Obey completely and display the wisdom and intelligence that God had given you. This is where he tells them to be that light, so that the surrounding nations will see you and want to serve God as well. Isn't that something? So we tell them to be that light. If you read it, you'll see what I'm talking about. And he says, never forget what God has shown you. That's kind of like when God has delivered us from something. Don't forget what God has taught you. Don't forget what he's shown you. He's shown you that he is faithful and he is true. But in the children of Israel's, in their case, they actually heard his voice. They've seen his marvelous works like firsthand. No other person have seen what God has shown the children of Israel. And that is what Moses is telling them. Don't forget all of that. And if you do forget all that and start doing all that other stuff that he told you not to do, then you will disappear and he will destroy you. But if you search for God with all of your heart, this is what Moses is telling them, then you will find him. And get this, God is merciful. He will not abandon you. That goes for us too. And so then he talks about how God has has displayed his power to him, but then he sets apart these cities of refuge on the east side. So he go through that as well. And there you have it, guys. That's day number 71, Deuteronomy chapter 3 and 4. You have a God-filled blessed day.